Here are some of the most obscure tips that you need to know if you want to hit champ. This first tip is for any bandit player. Now I see even a lot of high skilled players make this mistake. If your bandits look like this, you are placing them so wrong. The reason being is that one impact EMP can take out both those bandits. Now yes, this won't matter if there's a Thatcher on the board, but if you separate them and place your first bandits on the corners of each reinforcement, an impact EMP will not be able to take out both of them. And if they do hit the middle with their EMP, they won't get a single one. Not only that, but this leaves room to bandit trick in the middle much more effectively. Now on top of that, bandits batteries have a very odd hitbox. Now if we come over here into pillbox, you'll be able to see you can place bandits through walls. Now yes, this example is not very effective because it's right out in the open, but even this example, people might walk past that and not even notice it. On other maps though, this is highly effective because you can place them in very secure areas that will be impossible for Cowlies to reach. And then pairing that with the tip before of placing them off to the side, if there's any kind of debris here, it will also place inside of the object, similarly to how it's going through the wall. Now this next tip is for if you're on offense and defenders aren't shooting out glass like they should be. If there are any windows that you can get good lines of sight from, what you're going to want to do is throw on suppressor and come make a bullet hole. Now the thing is, this won't destroy the glass, so they will not be able to hear you. Now this is going to guarantee you a free kill on any map that you can be looking into sight from a window. This strategy is incredibly effective on maps like Oregon. Just be careful of your attic window. And Chalet on big window. Just be sure that as soon as you get your first pick to get away from that window as fast as possible, because you know people are either going to be mag dumping into it or running out on you. Now this next tip is for sense. You need to be running claymores, not frag grenades. And here's why. Now grenades are usually pretty effective, but on characters like Sense and Gridlock, you're just bound to destroy your utility. Now when attacking a bomb site like Kitchen on Coastline, Sense has got to be one of the most underrated operators for getting the plants off, and here's why. So what you're going to want to do is fill this room with all of your Sense walls, and you're going to simply just place your claymores down. And yes, this may destroy your sense wall, but you have additional ones. Now before they go off, what you're going to want to do, I can't do it since the bomb site's not here, but you would plant right up here. If anyone tries to swing you, you're going to get the freest of free kills. Now this next tip is bound to make some people uninstall the game, and I promise I'm not lying to you when I say this, but bullet holes still exist. Now, how do you actually make these? Well, all you need is some form of destruction. It can be a full breach, it can be a punch hole. Now, the reason that I breached this is to show you that you can make this next to a breach or a punch hole, and then on defense, you could actually reinforce this wall and still have these bullet holes, but it would not be near as noticeable. My next tip is for all the Warden players. Now, if you go up to a wall, you can actually hold X to reinforce it. No, I'm just playing with you guys. My next tip was actually to ban Warden. Now, why is this? Well, on offense, what is your goal? To plant. Who's the main roadblock in that? Warden. Now, yes, most people play him incredibly poorly, but if you're going against a good stack and you are planting, they're going to pick Warden. Now, if you just run Ying and Warden's banned, you can take all of sight for completely free. So yes, you guys might troll me for this one, but please ban Warden. So now that you know how to make bullet holes again, let me show you how to make a bulletproof bullet hole. Now this trick's been around for a while, but if you play Azami and walk up to anywhere with an edge and throw your Kiba at the ground while walking into the wall, you'll make this weird little V shape. Now if you stand up and aim about face height, maybe a tad bit up, and chuck your next one, what do you get? Well, you get this tiny little pixel peak. Now this is useful on literally every map. It is way more known now that people have been posting about it for maybe a year, 2 years. It's been around for quite a while now. But it is still ridiculously strong because even though people do know about this, the odds of them hitting you while you're just laying here pre-aiming at them, it's pretty low. So if you're running Azami, you need to be putting this on every single angle you want to be contesting. Because I mean, look at this. No attacker's hitting that. That's not going to happen, especially when you're going to be aiming at them the whole entire time. This next tip is going to get you way more kills with your claymores. Now I see this mistake a ton. You do not want to be placing your claymore like this with all 3 lasers showing. The claymore does not require somebody to walk through all lasers. It just requires 1 to hit the opponent. So what I like to do is to line your center dot with an object that you're placing it near, like so. And that should make it to where only 1 laser will show. Now this will make the claymore way less noticeable. Not only that, but most people have their enemy team as default red color. So if you place this on something red, which there's plenty of carpet in this game, which is red colored, it will blend in much, much better. Next, I got some Zero tips for you guys. Now Zero is a phenomenal operator, but he's very hard to play. First off, did you know that if you hover over something that's pierceable, your crosshair actually changes? Now what is the worst part about playing Zero? It's your cams getting destroyed. So to fix that, what we're going to do is instead of piercing 1 camera at a time, get all of your cameras down and flip them at the exact same time. Now what this does is it causes a lot of noise so they cannot pinpoint where each Zero cam is, and they will now all be pierced where you need them. Not only that, but if you're using Zero to destroy utility, now you have a lot more options to do so. The next thing you're going to want to do is contact Ubisoft because his Argus cams are just way too noticeable. So we got to get him buffed. No, I'm just kidding. Last thing I want is a Zero meta because he's already so strong. Now this next tip is to subscribe to Evil Duck Blood on YouTube so you don't miss any more of these tips. Peace out, be safe, I love you guys, and go hit champ.